Hello YouTube, hello viewer, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. I really would appreciate it. Also, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and if you didn't, please leave a comment and let me know why or how I can improve. Thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to this push workout, chest, shoulders and triceps. And in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about a good place to start your program, what I think is enough volume for most people to get started with, so you know how much you can do in your first week, and then progress from there. It's going to depend a little bit, of course, from person to person, especially if you're higher, intermediate or advanced. You probably would like to do a little bit more than this even in your first week. But for most people, I suspect that this is probably good enough to start off your training cycle with, just for you to get a feel about how much you can do to progress from where to start, basically, if you're clueless about how many sets you should do, how many reps you should do, what ranges for hypertrophy, and so forth. So follow along. These are the warm-up sets. We did include them on the first exercise, which is the bench press, just to give you an idea of what we do for warm-ups before we get ready for our first working set in our first exercise of this session. So we did 4 warm-up sets in total. Started off by just doing some reps with the bar, and then we loaded up the bar with more weights until we almost hit our working weight, maybe 5-10 kilos from our heaviest working set. We did 4 or 5 reps on that weight as the last warm-up. You could even do 1 or 2 reps on your working set, on your working weight, if you like, just to get a feel for that weight that you're going to work on. We didn't do that this time because we're not going that heavy. I believe this is 80 kilograms. I did this for 8 reps with 3 reps in reserve. RER, as you can see down below. We will be trying to go for 3 RER on every set in this workout. Sometimes it's going to be more closer to 2, sometimes it's going to be more closer to 4 or 5. That's totally fine. It's just an estimation of how close to failure we train in this first week. This is to try to give us just enough to get some adaptation going, get a good muscle pump, enough work to get results, but not so tough that we burn out in just a couple of weeks. So this is the type of progression that we will be doing for this cycle of training. This is set 2 out of 3. We will be doing 3 sets on most of the exercises today. I believe we did just 2 sets of 1 or 2 exercises, but we will increase the sets as we go as a part of our progression in volume, and that will help our total working volume to just increase as we go through our weeks of training. This is a really good way to gain in muscle mass and hypertrophy overall. We will add some load on the bar here and there when we find that it's necessary just to stay in the rep ranges that we want to be in. So yeah, just a real quick explanation of the progression and stuff. So I believe this is the last working set on the bench press. We're doing a little bit more volume here than usually maybe, but it's really nice to mix stuff around sometimes. Try to use exercise that maybe is more for strength training, but you can really be really good for hypertrophy also. If you change your grip width a bit and try to focus on the stretch. Here we went over to do the incline dumbbell presses to hit the upper chest a little bit. This is a different setup of exercises than the last push session we did. We have two different chest training days in our split. One in which we prioritize the upper chest by doing incline first, and the other we start off by doing the flat bench press first and the incline as a second exercise, just to mix things up, have a little bit of different training days with different points of focusing on. This is the first working set. We only did 2 sets of these in this first week of training. As I mentioned before, the working sets will go up as we go. We'll probably do 3 working sets of these next week, for instance, and even do a few more reps, so we get closer and closer to failure, and also increase that total working volume. My brother goes quite heavy here on his first set, which is nice. It's a good idea to do the heavy work first and then drop the weights. That's how we usually like to train when we train for hypertrophy in this style of training. Here's the second and last set. He lowered the weights to 30 kilos and did somewhere between 10 and 14 reps for our medium rep range. So next time when we add another set, we'll probably make that the light set with a high rep range and even more time under tension, just to really focus on the upper chest. So that's something you can experiment with as well. Try to hit different rep ranges with different sets for different muscle groups in different angles to get the most out of your training. Here we went into doing some cable crossovers, or cable flies, I believe it's called. Yeah, so this is the isolation work for today. The main purpose of this exercise is just to finish off the pecs, really focus on the stretch and a good peak contraction. Try to squeeze your pecs and really, focus on the mind-muscle connection is the most important part of this exercise. The pump was really huge after these sets. Felt great actually to do this. We haven't done these in a while. It's always a really nice feeling to go back to something that you used to do, which you haven't done in a while. Just feel that the muscle works in a totally different way than it's used to. It was a really good exercise to have in this training session. Here's the last set. I did somewhere between 13 to 18 reps maybe. We go a little bit higher on the reps in this exercise since it's isolation work. We're not focusing too much on the weight here, just trying to make that mind-muscle connection, really make the reps hard. You wanna get as much as you can out of every rep, but still maintain that time under tension throughout the whole working set. Here we have the close grip Smith the Machine bench press. This is a really nice exercise to overload the triceps. We usually transition from the chest work into the triceps work with this exercise. It's a little bit more compoundy than an isolation exercise for the triceps. This is the first working set. We did 3 sets in total. This is the rep range of 5, 6 to 10, 11, somewhere around there. I think I did 8 on this one. Went quite heavy, at least for me. Here's the second set. My brother is doing 10 or 12 reps, I think. We lowered the weight with 10 kilos for this as we go up in reps and hit those upper rep ranges. Still trying to use the same technique on every rep, in every set, and just try to harvest as much value as possible in terms of muscle engagement, time under tension, and mind to muscle connection. Here is the last working set. We dropped the weights with 10 kilograms again, and it was a little bit too light maybe, at least for my brother here. So yeah, he really had to just focus on squeezing and contracting his triceps to get the most out of this load. Next time he'll probably go a little bit heavier on this set. And in a few weeks we will do 4 or even 5 sets of these. And then maybe he'll go back to this weight and use it as his lighter set. Here we have the side delt work that we did in today's program or training session. I'm not going to show all these sets because they're pretty boring to just sit and watch. We did 3 in total. We did somewhere between 10 to 20 reps. Same principles as in the other exercises, where we try to hit different rep ranges and experiment a little bit here on the load. You don't need so much weights on these exercises. The cable machine does a really good job on keeping the tension on the side delts at all times. So we do use this exercise sometimes to mix things up from the ordinary side lateral raises that we do with the dumbbells. You can get a really nice burn here. So that's what we did for side delts today. Here we went into some more triceps work. This is the second triceps exercise and the first isolation triceps exercise. This is the cable pushdowns. We use the bar that is almost like a easy bar, which is nice for your wrists. Try to keep your elbows locked in place when you do these. It will give you more tension on the triceps and involve less of your delts and other muscles. So we really just use this for isolation. Here's my brother showing you a little bit of what I talked about, how not to do this. He said he felt this in his triceps, which he probably did, but he probably also felt it in other muscles as well. You want to isolate with the isolation movements. You can go heavy, of course, but in my opinion, there's other exercises for that. For example, the close grip bench press, which we started off by doing. So yeah, here's a regular set. Just really focusing on that peak contraction. You can see his triceps is popping there. And here's the last exercise for today, a unilateral triceps extension behind the neck. It's nice to have one exercise where you just focus on a single arm at a time. Focus is starting to decrease here at the end. This was a quite long workout. It was probably a little longer than an hour. I was really pumped and sore. Not sore, but yeah, I was tired here. So we did 2 sets. This is quite a lot of volume to start off with, at least for a beginner maybe, but this might be classified as intermediate volume in my opinion to start off a hypertrophy cycle with. So if you're a beginner, you could probably just skip this last triceps exercise if you'd like. If you don't want to be in the gym this long, totally understand that. This isolation work is not going to add a ton of mass. It's more for, toning the muscle, giving some extra tension to maybe a weak point, or just add some extra volume if you need it. It's not super necessary if you're just starting out. I want to thank you for watching. If you stayed the whole way through the whole video, thank you a lot. Bye.